What's good, everybody? It's your host with the most, the one and only Tiara Feyjoo, coming straight out of North Carolina 26. Right now, you're locked into the Moms with Motion podcast, a space for moms to share authentic stories from joys and challenges of motherhood. Each episode dives into real-life stories, engaging discussions, and expert insights to help moms stay inspired and in motion. Make sure to subscribe to all platforms so you can stay locked into the motion. Let's get it. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's the one and only Tiara Feyjoo, face of the city. Y'all already know. Come on now. It's Moms with Motion podcast, episode 3. Yeah, episode 3. I have a very, very, very special guest in the building. They call her my twin. You know, we look alike. We're both the face of the city. We're both in Fayetteville, North Carolina, by the way, if you didn't know. But it doesn't matter where you're at right now, because if you're a mom or a dad or soon to be mom, or you just someone tuned in because you're trying to like catch the vibes, that's cool. But we're definitely Moms with Motion, okay? And we're going to get into it, talk that talk, and just, you know, put the influencer hat off for a second. And let's just be real. I got my girl Audrey Hasslocher. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, perfect.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks for having me.
I love
I'm
you.
excited. Let's get real. I'm ready. I'm ready to take it off and just be real with you guys. So yeah, I'm excited.
Come on now.
And I'm a mom in motion.
You are very much a mom with motion. And I got to like edify you real quick. I got to hype you up real quick because you got a lot going on. Yeah. So it's great to have you right now. Doing a lot in Fayetteville and surrounding areas. And you're from San Antonio, right?
That's right. Texas, San Antonio, Texas.
Okay,
born and raised.
Stand
Texas
up.
cowgirl all the way.
I don't know nothing about that, y'all.
That's perfect.
It was perfect. Yes. But if y'all don't know, Miss Audrey is Mrs. Fayetteville, okay? 2024 to be exact. Your first pageant, if I'm not mistaken.
My very first one. I'm doing good. I'm loving it.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's fun.
And she's a mama 3, okay? Stop playing with her. She got a teenager and 2 little ones. We're going to get into that. And you got your own platforms and brands. So to talk about that, the Blossom Tribe, you're a leader of women, bringing women together, positive vibes. Definitely want to get into that. And then also Free Bird Communications, because you have a marketing degree.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
She knows me.
I did my research. But yes, so that's really dope. So your marketing and advertisement for other businesses, you know, people look at you as a guru in these areas, you know, with obviously being Mrs. Fayetteville, obviously having this dope marketing business and being a leader of women. But come on now, you're a mom at 3.
It's true. It makes everything that much more difficult, honestly. Well, I mean, in a good way. You know, they say like motherhood's beautiful, and I want to keep it real because I know we got
Please.
But everybody keeps asking me like, how are you doing it? How are you managing it? And I always say I don't even know. I'm doing it. I'm showing up. I truly don't know how I'm doing it other than I wake up. I'm doing something I'm passionate about. I think that's the first thing. I'm very passionate about my marketing business. I'm very passionate about Blossom Tribe. I'm very passionate about Miss Fayetteville. Like everything I do is like truly purposeful. Like I'm not going to put all my time, energy into something that I don't feel my heart is there.
Right.
And that's kind of what like that. I think that's what slows people down. That's what like drains people when they're not like passionate and they don't feel like this is my purpose in life. They just get exhausted and zapped. So I think that's why I'm like, where am I putting my energy? And this year I've been learning to say no. Because I'm like, is that going to be beneficial to my family, to me, to my dreams, to whatever? Like, I'm like, I don't have to be everywhere all the time, which that's how I was in the beginning. Like, I have to be every single place, everywhere.
It's my twin for real, because FOMO was a big problem in my life as well. If y'all know what FOMO is, fear of missing out, okay? Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. And you feel like this year is your year where you've really overcome that. Yeah,
I'm trying. I mean, I feel like the busier I get, the less happy I am. You know, like my ratio, I always say like a ratio. Like there's the family ratio, the business ratio, then the self ratio. Yeah. And it's like when you're starting a business, that the self ratio is this, you know, then your family, of course, it's mandatory, but then your business takes up a big portion. And as I've grown and I've gotten more success, I'm like, how can I redo these ratios to where I'm happy and my family's getting what they need me, and time and energy. And I'm also taking care of myself because I was not taking care of myself forever.
Come on now.
But so now this year I'm like redoing the ratio. So I always say, like, just think of your life that way of like, how much time am I actually giving me, my family, my business? Like, what am I actually, like, is this going to be sustainable?
Yes.
And for me, this past year was not. Like, it was like 70% business, you know, whatever. I'm not going to do math. We
don't need exact numbers, you know, but
20% family and whatever the remaining is.
No, I feel that.
You know, self.
Yeah.
And then I said, I can't do this. You know? So this year was like redoing the ratio of like, what can I do? Like, what's the ratio look like if my business is still successful, still growing, but I'm giving more of myself to my family, which makes me happy to be more present with them.
It feels good. You feel proud of yourself. Not when you're balanced. I don't really, you know, lack of a better word, right? But when you are balancing everything to where it's like, okay, you're never perfect either.
No.
Never, ever perfect. And that's what we got, you know, and for me, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, help me to balance everything, right? But when you're doing, like, fulfilling every area, like your kids, like I'm doing with the kids, I'm doing my thing, I'm putting my all into that. My husband, you know, one day, for you. I'm doing my part there, you know, I'm doing my part with God, which is with you for yourself, and my business is popping. Come on now. Like, that's a beautiful place to be. Would you say that, and again, not perfect, that you're at that place right now, like, for the most part, or are you still, like, what does that look like for you right now? Sorry, I can't.
So the ratio, because I love the way you say balance, and so it's never really like balance, right? Because you're every stage of your life, you're gonna recalibrate. I know that's like kind of a nerdy word, but I'm like, I gotta recalibrate because it's like
a mechanic.
It's like it's nothing wrong with it, like, because when you're using something over time, it gets a little bit like the measurements and the balance gets off. So it's like, just recalibrate.
Right.
You know, there's nothing wrong with you're not unbalanced. You just gotta kind of reprioritize and restructure and re-ratio, whatever. Those are the words I use because I don't want to say like I'm unbalanced. I just gotta recalibrate. Yeah. I just gotta come back to the right, you know, zone. And so for me, I would say I'm not there yet because what I want to do moving into the new year is like actually spend more time with family.
Right.
So what I've done is essentially, you know, bringing more like full-time people to help me with certain aspects of my business because I'm only one person. I can only create so much product within a certain time frame.
Come on, give me some of that real quick because I know, like, I don't know if you feel how I feel, so I'm gonna throw it out there, but mom boss, like boss, like you got your brand, you don't have to be physically in it every day, physically making the transactions every day, physically making that ongoing income come in, but delegating it to your employees, your team, your whatever, your systems, and it's just bringing the money in for you, and you're working it when you want to. You're doing the work that you like when you want to, when you can, when the time is feasible.
Exactly. No, that's it. It's like, because I realize like I can create these things in the day, right? But if I don't have someone to come up and behind me and say like, hey, I can actually take some of that off your plate, I can do that for you. You know, so I'm like at the point where like I need a team and I depend on them to be able to be me essentially in those places. And I can produce more products, like I can produce more services, have more clients if I have more people working with me. So that's really where I'm at now. It's like, even though in the beginning you kind of cut your losses a little bit, like, okay, but truly the long term it's going to benefit you. Yeah. Because you're going to continue to grow and build. You're going to be able to take more clients, grow more. And so that's the mindset I'm having. Instead of like, oh no, I need to do this perfect. Yeah. Train people to do what you would do. Come on now. Just duplicate yourself.
Duplicate yourself. Yeah. That's it.
So that's helping me a lot. And actually I've saved like hundreds of hours every month being able to give work to other people and say, I'm going to train you, teach you. Because for me, it's like doing everything excellent and doing everything well is really important. Training people to think like a marketer, and like, I
love that. Yeah. I love that.
So it's like spending time to train them and be like, this is what I want you to, how I want you to think. That takes time, but I think it's worth it. And I feel, I think the new year moving into, we're only in September, but moving into January in the new year, I'm going to focus on that. Like,
we're in October though.
Are we in October? Oh gosh.
Your birthday is
my
September.
Birthday,
so that's how you still feel like it's September.
I still thought it was September. I don't know what month I'm in.
That's funny. I had to get her on that one. I saw opportunity, so I took it. But I want to change the route real quick. So take like a minute to really talk about Freebird Communications to our viewers. Okay, because I know it's an amazing business and platform that people need to take advantage of. Okay, period. And then also take a moment to talk about 1 minute the Blossom Tribe, and I'm gonna come in with some questions.
Okay. So Freebird Communications, that's a digital marketing agency. We're leaning more into marketing, advertising, and PR. So what we do is we help businesses, organizations, nonprofits, just local businesses. We also work in Texas, and it's really remote. So any business that needs help, we can help virtually. Nice. And we do, really it's a one-stop shop for all your marketing, advertising, PR needs. Like just one stop. That's why it's communications. That's like the overarch. And that includes, your traditional social media, your advertising, billboards, email. So really anything that's going to get you out there to grow your business, that's what we do. That's like, I love that. So I got asked recently about this, like, why do you love marketing? I said, it's because I'm helping other businesses grow their business. Yeah. So it's like, I'm the one in the background, like cheering you on, like, let me help you grow. So it's like, for me, that brings me joy, is like helping other people. So yes, I'm in the background, but I'm helping your business get out there. Yeah. And so that's how I see it. And, so the Blossom Tribe, that is a passion project. That's like a thing that I grew this really big desire in my heart when I moved to Fayetteville, and I had nobody. I didn't really know anyone. I just was starting my business, like just barely baby business owner. And I didn't have a community, a network, or anyone. Like I didn't know who to ask questions, like however silly, small they were, like how do I file for this? Or how do I set this up? Or anything like that. And I said, I want to have a community. Like I want to build something where there's other women like myself who are passionate, who are growing, who want to build something great for themselves. Like I want to have this community for them.
Nice. Like, I love that.
Yeah. And so I built the Blossom Tribe. And what I made a little bit different was the anti-networking vibe. So the difference of that between other communities.
Yeah, talk about it. I'm curious.
It's like anti-networking because as someone who's like very passionate, A-type, everything I do, I kind of pour myself into. I've called me.
I didn't even know.
Somebody told me I was, so I guess.
Look, that's your other side. When you get in work mode, she turned to an A-type.
Yeah, I feel like somebody said it. I don't know. I guess I am. But
I ain't never seen that side. I'm weird.
I'm like, what does that even mean? Does that just mean
that means you straight to the point?
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess straight to the point. I'm about my business. Yeah,
and leader, like straight to the point.
All right, I accept this. Okay, as long as it's a good word,
But I'm curious because, me personally, in my experiences with leading women, leading teams, especially women, there's been drama. Oh, so I am curious.
There is drama.
As much. And you don't see it, y'all. The Blossom Tribe looks I haven't been to an event yet of yours, which I hate. I can't wait to go because I'm very interested. But looking from the outside in, it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
The women look, it's diverse. They look like kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? Like it's pretty dope. And I'm just curious. Let's talk about it. Whatever you feel like sharing.
Okay.
What's going on the inside, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Okay, so I'll just put out there then, since you opened up the door.
No name dropping, but
I know, right? No name drop. But so the Blossom Tribe is going through. It's been 1 year officially, like that I've been operating it. Yay! I'm so excited. But it's time to change. Time to get kind of the kinks out. So this past year, I've been managing everything. Like I've been hosting, promoting, everything. It's just all on me. And my assistant helping me push those products, like the graphics out. But I'm realizing I can't do it by myself because like you said, I don't have the right ratio right now. For me to put all this time into Freebird and family and, just living my personal and things like that, I'm realizing I need help. So I'm going to restructure the Blossom Tribe where it's not always on my shoulders. Because, hey, we're a community. We're supposed to be, showing up for each other. And it's I'm the one that's really just showing up all the time, hosting and promoting and things. So I'm so as we move into the new year, I'm going to restructure where it's instead of me always doing everything, bringing people in from the club, essentially membership, right? So the club saying, I'm gonna host one, you're gonna host. Nice. We're gonna do a community. I want to do a charity.
Their own location.
Yes,
home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'd be so I would take 1 month, and then somebody else would take another month. And then I want to bring a business education to 1 month. And then the last one, I want to do a charity community aspect because I feel why not? Like, you should always have something where you're giving back.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to restructure it a little bit where it's less on my shoulders and more on, like, everyone as, like, to come together to support. It's a community. So, like, let's all support each other. And like you said, I can only do so much. So New Year. You made that sound earlier. That's how you got me. What was that sound? Oh my gosh.
What?
Yeah, got me saying that in my words.
Yes.
But that's not so drama, but I feel like it has been a little bit
with having
too
like
much
the
load
other
on
ladies
me.
Host?
Yeah, well, me doing everything and feeling like I'm doing everything.
Okay, and have you been voicing that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been asking for help, and
and
everybody's
what's your feedback
busy.
like? Okay,
I don't really get any help, any feedback, so I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe we should restructure, or I mean, my other thing was like pausing it or canceling it or something, to where I'm like, okay, let's take a moment.
It'd be like that. I feel like you're always gonna find, like, let's say out of 10 ladies, for example, let's just use as an example, you're gonna find one, maybe two that are like, they are do or die. That's your ride or dies. They're going to be there for you. They're going to show up. They're going to ask if you good. You're going to cancel everything. And months later, you bring it back and they still there.
Yeah.
You're going to have like 1 to 2 ride or dies. And that's the experience I've had personally.
Yeah. So I'm going to have
Pretty
to
Girl
restructure.
Promo, LLC. Yeah.
And that's how you know the real people that are there for the right reasons, too.
Yeah.
Because that's my thing is like, people see it as a business networking. It is, but again, anti-networking, because you can... when I was going to all these networking events, passing out all my cards and doing all these things, like, you're on performance.
Yeah.
Like, you're on your best behavior.
Yeah.
Every time you do that. And it's a very transactional. I'm going to give you my card, you're going to give me yours. We're going to expect something from each other or hope to, exchange business. But I wanted the Blossom Tribe to be different. Like, I wanted it to be, like, real deal. Like, we're connecting as people.
Yeah.
And we just happen to be business owners and happen to be, moms and women or whatever, like right after that. But it's like, can I meet you without feeling like you need something from me and I need something from you?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I wanted, to like have a real connection, because I can go out and network all day and show up and like throw my cards to everybody, but like I didn't want that. Like, I wanted us to have a monthly get together community where we're like real with each other and we can share our problems and like we can talk real deal. We can.
Have you been getting that?
Yeah, every time we have an event, it's been like amazing. Like,
that's dope.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. But again, it's like, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
To post on these events, it's like a lot of work.
I know, girl.
So I'm like, I just need people to show up and help support the community.
Know your ride or dies. That's my advice. Know your ride or dies. Before we move on from that, I have one more question. So, do any of the girls like ever bicker with each other or get into it or have problems? Like, do you ever see that?
I've seen that in some of on the group chats that we have. Yeah, I've seen some of that where there's like someone will post something and then they'll like, people will jump on them. I mean,
how do you handle that?
How did I handle those?
And how does it get handled per se? Like,
I would say, I can't remember the exact drama. I just remember there was one girl who was coming at me and she was like, can you remind me why, like, what the mission is and why we're even doing this? And I'm like, it's obviously like, it's not a mystery. You can go on the website or you can just like, you literally see what this is. It's not.
She says it's not a mystery.
I was like, I'm not hiding this from anybody. Like, it's a community for women entrepreneurs. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
And she was like, can you remind me, because I'm part of this and I want to make sure that like my image is like used correctly. And I'm like, wait, what's happening right now? Like, what are we talking about? It ain't that serious. Like, so it became like a drama. And then she asked me a bunch of questions. Why are we here? Why are you charging us? Why are you doing this and that? So I was like, okay, let me take the time to respond correctly. Cause like, it's a proper question. Yeah. I'm going to give you a proper answer.
Right.
But like to put it on blast like that was kind of
it's kind of like
why not just message me like, hey, I love being a part of this, but can you remind me what my part is, or what.
Someone told me a long time ago, when you have situations like that, instead of going back and forth with messages, just call them. Yeah. Call them right away.
I should have done that.
Because that attitude ain't really going to show on that phone versus through them text messages 9 times out of 10. Yeah. This is me speaking to myself, because I should have practiced this in my past. But I was like, this is what I'll probably do going forward.
Yeah, just like human to human. I think like technology is making us more like detached from each other. Yeah. And just also lets you just say crazy stuff. to each other because you're like, you can't, because I know you wouldn't say that to my face, but can you tell me what this is about? Like, I know you wouldn't tell me. I'd be like, okay, like, we can take it down a couple notches.
Not facts, you know? Facts. Now, moving on from that, I really want to dig briefly, maybe no more than 5 minutes into your past. So you got really vulnerable on Facebook and shared your testimony about your first marriage, and I read it. It really touched me. I believe it touched a lot of people, your testimony. If you could just briefly share what it looks like. Say, let people know what happened briefly. And then I want to talk about the courage, the choices of deciding to get out of that marriage and starting over with a new marriage and a new life.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So on Facebook, I did share, I was in my feelings, and the real is like people see me from afar, and I don't realize that most people don't know that my past. They don't know where I've come from. They don't know like the hurt that I've carried, the trauma. So essentially I was like, let me put this out there and just share, because it might help somebody, or it might encourage them, or help make them think differently about things. So just the story my life story in a really quick nutshell, because it's a lot more complicated than this, but essentially I was raised, I was born in the projects. I have at the time I had 6 brothers and sisters. My mother was on disability. She was deaf and mute. She couldn't, speak. She also had some sort of mental, disability where she couldn't really think properly, and she was very elementary mindset. And she got taken advantage a lot by different men, and so she, so that was a situation that I grew up in. So a lot of the men that she would bring in would, abuse us sexually, emotionally, physically. My mother was abused a lot, and so I had to grow up with this. A lot of violence and a lot of fear and just a lot of pain and trauma, and myself and my siblings. So that was my childhood. So because of that, I was removed from my home at the age of 7.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was so bad that all my siblings were just taken from my mother's home, and we were all kind of scattered out, foster homes, adoption, different relatives and those type of things. So. That was my life, and of course, kind of skipping over a lot of things. I grew up in foster care, and I aged out at 17. I didn't really understand my value, my worth. I had a lot of just like things in my own heart. Like you can see, right, of someone who grew up really detached from family and from love. And so I got out of foster care, aged out, and I met a boy. I was about 18 at the time. And it ended up really, it could have gone any way, but it ended up that this guy was not a good guy. Yeah. It ended up not being a good relationship. And
what things did you experience in this relationship?
So I got pregnant almost immediately after meeting him. I would say maybe even a couple months after meeting him, I got pregnant. And
how old is your oldest?
So she's almost 16, so she's 15 now. So this was a while ago. But I was 18, but I'm like 18.
You got a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I got 30-year-old. Yeah, so she's a teenager now. And then, so essentially, like, it became very clear immediately that he did not want to be a father, that he did not want a parent, that he didn't even think it was my child. It was very clear that he wasn't gonna, take care of it. And things change over time where we end up trying to make it work, but long story short, obviously there's so much history in between that, so I couldn't even go into all the nitty-gritties.
You experienced abuse though, right?
Yeah, essentially that's really what broke it. So I gave birth. There was no abuse before, just emotional cheating, lying, stealing, those type of things. But once I actually gave birth, then that's when it started happening, where it was like...
Did you love him?
Oh yeah, I did. Like I loved him. I mean, I truly. I mean, even that hurts to say because I haven't said that in a really long time.
Do you think he loved you, but he was just damaged?
Yeah, I mean, he did. Yeah, I think we loved each other, and I think there's a part of me that will always love him. And there's a part of me. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry. There's a part because I think the hardest part was like that I gave it every single thing of my life to make this work, because like I wanted that family with him, and I wanted to raise a family together. Yeah, I did not want to have a broken home. Right. And when he was decent, he was decent. When he was good, he was good. It's just he had his issues. He had his trauma. He couldn't, he had a lot of problems, Yeah. And
it's okay, girl.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Because, I want to talk about this because there's so many women who are just stuck in damaged relationships, stuck with men that don't value them, men who don't, like, really show the woman their worth. Like, not show, but treat them as what they're worth, for real. Like, the queen that they are. So I appreciate you coming on here and being vulnerable, for real, for real. This is going to touch somebody, I'm telling you. Yeah. And I need to know, like, you're married, you're remarried, you're Mrs. Fayetteville, you have your own brands, you're out there. Before then, you weren't doing none of this stuff in your previous marriage. So what did that look like? What courage did it take? What choices did you make, real briefly? Like,
so I think the biggest thing is my husband now, and we've been married 8 years. Yeah. So of course I got out of that relationship with my ex-husband, and he apologized to me years later. He said, I'm sorry I didn't love you. I'm sorry that I mistreated you. Like, I was the problem. Like, you were amazing. And so I got that healing. But that was when I was already in my new marriage. So it's like, I met a wonderful man. And truly, I have to say this, I know some women don't believe, but your partner is going to make or break you. Yeah. Like, truly. Like, my husband now, when I do anything, he will cheer me on. Like, when I say I believe in this, I want to do this, I'm dreaming about this is my goal, he's like behind me. He said, you can do it. Like, whatever you need, I have your back. Whatever you need, I'm gonna be there for you. And that gave me courage, like, truly, like, to empower me to share, like, I can do anything as long as I have the right partner behind me. And so truly, I know that so my partner truly is, like, helping me push myself into greatness, because he's like, I'm coming with you. Have the right
partner. Your partner is going to make or break you. Thank you, sis, for sharing that. Absolutely. For real. And I'm proud of you and excited to see where your brands go. And I think that me and you are a dope team, sisters. And I want to bring my kids in here for a second, bring them on in. Give a little vibe. All right, y'all see, I got my kids in here. I got my sister here. I got my niece in here. We still got Mrs. Fayetteville in here, Miss Audrey. And y'all met Faye before. She's only 3 years old, one of my twins. Aww. And she is restless, okay? So be prepared for that. Then we got Grace over here. They see her like she's chewing gum, but she not. She's 3 years old too. And we gotta have the kids in here too. Keep it real. Yeah, get off of you, right? So, sis,
what's going on?
Tell the people, like, really briefly, something about you. Like, you experiencing this right here.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
We all got 3 kids, right?
I remember those days.
Yeah. All of us got 3, but yours is a little different story, because yours are older. Yeah. Anything you want to tell the audience, because this is viral. Come on.
I mean, honestly, let's just be patient with them, first of all. Mm-hmm. Your kids don't understand how much you're trying to protect them, whether they're small or older, and they're always going to be on the defense because they have their own problems and their own situations going on, and you don't face those with them. So when they come home and I'm one of those strict parents that, hey, you need to get this done, you need to get that done. And sometimes I slow myself down and I'm like, I try to explain to them why I'm like that, because I'm trying to prepare them for the world. So honestly, they may not understand why you're explaining things, or maybe you don't like to explain things. Be patient with your kids, because you don't see what you're instilling in them now, but you will as they get older, because I see it.
What's up, girl? Be patient. Are you talking to me right now?
Yeah, be patient, but stay firm and stand on business, like they would say, because if you don't, then you kind of miss out on some of the really important things that you have to give for your kids.
What does that look like, being patient, though? Because I'm gonna be honest, I fail at that a lot. Yeah. I'm trying to do better, like the time of fall right now. I'm getting angry. But
honestly, I mean, not angry, but stand firm. Hey, sit down. Have a seat. Thank you, ma'am.
Sit down, Mama. You want to go outside? I know. Well, sit down and you get your tablet back.
That's all it is.
Sit down and you get your tablet back.
That's all it is.
Want your tablet back? You got to sit right here, okay? Okay? Say yes, ma'am. Say yes, ma'am.
And that's the perfect example of being patient right there. Yeah. You got to be firm. Give them the attention that is necessary at that moment so that they can follow through. Right. And then you reward them. Right. That's basically it. Teenagers, a little different. It's a little different. She's gonna give you every look in the book. For every attitude, you're gonna see Maria's face and emotion next to it because she has a very outgoing expression, you know, and honestly, she's my sweet baby, honestly, but she's tough. They're all tough. I can't blame them, you know. We haven't been given a very nice dealt of cards, you know what I'm saying? So the struggle is real. But at the end of the day, it's how you keep pushing through.
Your kids gonna be warriors, man. They really make something of themselves. The struggle is nothing to to put down on. I think the struggle is what really makes us who we are.
It is.
For sure.
It is.
You should say, hey, I know you got a TikTok, right?
Yeah, she sure does.
Shout it out. I don't know what you're doing on your TikTok. Shout it out to the audience. It's all good. I can't be that bad.
They all got skills. What do you do, baby?
Just shoot.
Tell them. We got 2 minutes. We don't got time. Okay, go ahead and be shy. They want to act, but they can say everything in the world at home. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, am I wrong? Oh, she gonna keep the person. Go to her page.
Oh, she can't play with that, y'all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Keep your shoes on. You understand? Thank you.
So they express themselves at home. This is a new thing for us. We're not, they do their own personal TikToks. I critique them. So, you know what I'm saying? I stand on it because there's a certain image I want my kids to uphold to. Right. And they don't understand that either. There's a certain way I want you to sit. There's a certain way I want you to stand. There's a certain way I want you to behave.
Help me out. What scripture is that? I tried to say it last time. I couldn't remember it, but it's
don't put me on the spot like that, girl. What you got?
It talks about, you train your kids the way you want them to go, so if they deter from it, they'll come back to it.
There it is. Don't be questioning yourself. Yes.
What's the scripture?
It says train your child in the way they should go, and when they're older, they will not depart from it.
There you go.
Which means when they won't always listen at this age, but when they get older, they'll come back and they'll listen.
We were just talking about that in the car.
Blanca, I'm really excited for you. We're going to have you come back on here for sure. Because you're in ministry. You're a mom with motion as well. You're serving God and serving your kids, the community, and you're such a giving spirit. So it's great to have you on here. It's my sister, man. Mrs. Audrey look like she related to us too. So I guess we all just a big family.
Sisters in Christ. Hello.
Okay, period. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. It's the one and only Tiara Feyjoo. Y'all already know what's going on. Audrey, Blanca, Maria, Faith and Grace. Tune back in. This was